guys, I just wanted to do this little insert real quick in front of the reaction to say thank you so much to everyone who sent condolences and messages on YouTube and on Patreon to me about my dad. It really meant a lot to me. I haven't been able to respond to people because I just haven't been in the space yet to do so, but I just really wanted to let you guys know how much it meant to me and to say thank you, because I think that's really a very beautiful and kind thing to do. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and let you get into the reactions, but yeah, just thank you so much. It really meant the world to me. Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are going to be watching season 2 episode 7 of For All Mankind. We are almost at the end of season 2, which is crazy to me, but I'm very excited to see where we go from here. Also incredibly nervous because we had like shadowy figures. We have possible imminent war on Mars, not Mars, well, maybe there too, the moon, and we have like the shadowy figure where, you know, we have the mission with the USSR, which who knows how that's gonna go. The actual people in the mission seem fine. I'm just worried about like all the people behind the scenes, you know, and nothing better happened to my girl Danielle because I will be very upset. I'm already worried about Molly. You never know what's gonna go on with Ed. Like, I'm just a little bit stressed, but I'm excited to see where we go from here. I'm excited to just see. Let's just see. I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's just see.
The Koreans are gonna eat us alive.
Well, we're negotiating an East Asian Space Alliance, which is gonna be a drinking contest.
Can't have one without the other. Not in Seoul. You thought the UN delegates were party animals.
Oh.
Just wait.
My sausage just thinking about it.
Is that not New York?
You're gonna be great. You were born to do this job.
Do we think he has a crush on her?
You know, Tom, I've been meaning to talk to you about something. I think I might...
You're pregnant.
No. No, it's not bad.
Excuse me, Ellen Wilson, room 147?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Is everything okay?
This is Ellen Wilson. Okay,
What?
thank you.
What's wrong? No, what happened? No, what happened? Tell me. Sorry, I'm so impatient.
My father had a heart attack. It doesn't sound good.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know that this is gonna be the best episode for me right now, but...
He's in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Use a limo. I'll take a taxi to
No,
the
I
airport.
can't do that. The Korean...
You can't not do that. This is family.
Mm-hmm.
Go. On. I'll call you.
Thank you.
Kind of wish that they weren't doing this storyline right now.
It's me, my martini, and the Apollo-Soyuz budget requests.
Why do I feel like something bad is gonna happen to him? See? Something fucking creepy's happening. Oh my god. He's in danger.
Oh, and Morrison doing.
Everything going okay in Russia?
By all accounts, the training's gone smoothly.
Good.
What the fuck is that?
Still can't quite believe it's happening. Our astronauts.
Oh no. They're gonna shoot a missile or something.
For this proposed space station, are we really?
Tom, you there? Tom?
Oh, you need to turn on the news, girl. You need to turn on the fucking news.
A wake-up call.
Yeah.
You heard the
Glad he's
doctor.
okay.
No more red meat, no more smoking, and you have to slow down.
We all know that'll never happen.
I'm running a $500
Sorry.
million company. We just extended into Asia, got a new hub in Europe and another.
I know.
I'm glad he's okay.
You want me to slow down? I'm gonna need your help. And obviously, that's not gonna happen right now.
It could.
Maybe you're being a little short-sighted.
What do you say?
She's not gonna stay at NASA.
I'm thinking about leaving NASA.
Bullshit.
I'm serious. I want to get to Mars, and I'm starting to think that private spaceflight is the only way to get there.
Interesting. What does Larry have to say about you changing course?
Larry wants me to be happy wherever I am.
That's true.
One thing I don't have to worry about, you'll always have a solid man by your side. Not that I wouldn't mind a grandchild or two.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but the White House is calling for you.
It's about Tom.
The White House?
That's what they said.
Yep. Turn on the news.
Special report. Here is Dan Rather.
Yes.
President Reagan arriving at this moment at Point Mugu Naval Air Station in California, taking him from his California vacation back to work in Washington. A vacation cut short by the shooting down of Korean
Airlines Flight 7 by the Soviets, with the apparent loss of as many as
It lost them.
269 more persons aboard. President Reagan is expected to deliver a statement shortly.
I'm sorry, it is beyond inconceivable that any pilot could mistake an American reconnaissance plane with a Korean passenger jumbo jet. I don't buy that for a second.
It's more likely
Yeah.
they suspected KAL-7 was being used as a spy plane.
Was it?
Oh, shit.
Don't be ridiculous. Why would the United States use another nation's passenger plane to spy?
We are wasting time here. All that matters is that I have
They
been able
could.
to reach Poole and Morrison in Star City. I've tried every line. It's radio silence.
See, this is what I was worried
the
about.
FBI shut down access to all Soviet officials in the U.S., including the Apollo-Soyuz engineers. So they're probably responding to that.
They are holding our people hostage. That's not okay.
She's right.
Ellen.
I've spoken with Jim Baker at the White House. Until the president appoints a permanent replacement, I'll be fulfilling Tom's duties as acting administrator. Now, reestablishing communication with our astronauts is our top priority at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get in touch with Sergei Nikolov, see if he could help us get in touch with our people. And
We just got attacked by the Soviets. Now you're going to reach out to them and ask for help?
Sergei will listen to reason.
They have shown time and again that they can't be trusted. This should all run through the NSC.
Well, I think we need to pursue all available options before this turns into an even bigger incident.
Right.
Go talk to him. Hopefully he knows of a way to reach Star City.
Thank you.
Your call.
Yeah, it is. You can't be like, some people did something bad. All of the people there are bad. Like, that's not logic. I am worried about them, though. Does she know what happened? Or no? Does she have no idea?
Thomas Paine was killed, Sergei, along with 268 others. That's why we're here.
Yeah, but he didn't make the call.
Tom was a good man. Frustrating at times. Didn't always agree with his methods, but he gave everything to his job, and I respected the hell out of him.
Just believed that the steam will carry the soul of the departed to heaven. Maybe it's true.
Nice thought.
When you get me the telephone, I will call Moscow and tell them that I'm not being tortured. Other than weak borscht.
Is 10 too much to expect? Wonderful, Senator. Thank you. We can talk more about that, of course.
I wonder what she's saying. Just like that they work well together.
Exhausted. And overwhelmed. And I don't know, I just keep playing it over and over in my head. What if my dad didn't have a heart attack? I would have been on that plane. I would have been sitting right next to Tom, the two of us. He would have been the last person I ever saw.
Stop thinking that.
I mean, I think it's understandable. Did I scare you? I'm sorry.
He was such a good man. So misunderstood. And now he's just floating somewhere in the Sea of Japan.
I mean, he's not with his
All of
body.
those people, they're just floating somewhere in the Sea of Japan.
They're not there. They're somewhere else, you know, if you believe in an afterlife.
You're here. Alive.
They're there. If you don't,
With me.
they're not in the sea, you know? They're not there.
And I'm so damn grateful that you are.
Are you a Christian, Ellen?
Weird question, but sure.
Yes. Yes, I am, sir.
Prayer sustains me in times of crisis. I hope it does the same for you.
Sure, okay. Just trying to
Yes, sir. It does.
I'm glad.
share faith.
Because I'll need everyone on my team clear-eyed for what's ahead. We have to show strength in the shadow of catastrophe or all is lost.
I understand.
Thank you, Ellen.
Wonder what if she'd said no. Like, would he have gotten upset?
The solid rocket boosters, they're an exact replica of ours, but from 2 years ago.
Interesting. What does that mean?
Okay.
That's where we found the O-ring problem on Challenger. And Sakhalin gets a whole lot colder than Florida, so if they copied our boosters to that extent, it's just a matter of time until this thing blows up.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to warn them.
Margot, they've got smart people over there.
They're not
We caught the O-ring. I'm sure they caught the problem.
They're
You
not
don't
gonna
know
warn
that.
them.
Not for sure.
You're right, I don't. But I do know that this thing has the potential to be armed for use against us. They could drop munitions on any point on Earth.
Yeah, but you can't.
With no warning.
You can't punish people.
And don't tell me they
for
don't have
potential.
that potential. Not after KAL.
Yes, I understand. But if they decide to use Baran as a weapon at some point in the future, that's their choice. We have a choice right now to save human lives.
Yes.
Dozens of civilians.
Yes.
Engineers, scientists, they could be killed. We have the power to prevent that.
I'm not going to take that risk. I'm sorry. The answer's no, and this remains classified.
That's so shitty, though. It's like you can't punish people for what they have the potential to do later. Like, everyone has the potential to do something bad.
Hey, I hope this kid's not giving you too much grief.
Of course not. Doing a great job.
Well, I'm sure. He is a good kid.
Yeah.
He is. How's Trace?
I haven't spoken to her in a couple days. Apparently, the moon is a very busy place.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So you ready to sell me this place yet?
The answer is still no.
All right, that's too bad. Because with just a little push, this place is about ready to explode. Can franchise it, go national. Oh, well. Maybe next time.
How does he know which one is?
Maybe today?
Is?
What's that?
Said maybe I'm ready to sell you the bar today.
What? But you just said no 2 seconds ago. Were we in the same
Are you
conversation?
serious?
Well, it depends on what you're offering.
$250.
No.
300 then.
$450.
Ooh, dang.
350. This is the outpost, not the Ritz.
400. With the trinkets in the case, it's worth at least that much, plus it's only gonna appreciate over time.
375.
390.
Sold.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I just sell you the outpost for $390,000?
Not till you shake my hand, you didn't.
I can get that shit in writing. Girl, write takes writing.
Handshake means more than a notary.
Nah, I'd get the fucking notary.
All right.
You got witnesses, though.
We'll get that paperwork signed next week.
Yeah, sign it fucking now, bitch.
Okay.
I wonder why she just decided, nah, I'm good. Let me sell it. Like 2 seconds ago, she was like, no, you're not buying my place. And then she was like, nah. You know what? It's leaking and the men's bathroom's clogged. Why the fuck not?
Being in Gulag is like worst dream. Torture, starvation, cold. So cold. And frozen to death. Forced to betray their comrades
Yeah, like, why?
in order to survive.
She ain't done shit. Y'all the ones who shot down the fucking plane.
I wonder, will you be next lined up against Paul? When I first heard about Soyuz Apollo, I thought, Ronald Reagan. He is a clever man. Symbol of astronaut and cosmonaut. Together in space.
Strong symbol.
Of course, I knew we had no choice but to agree. Because we would look cynical if we did not. But also, because maybe it could change the world.
Sure, so don't
It can't be anything if I don't ever leave this room.
shoot down commercial airliners. You know?
When you finally go out this door, do it with your head up.
Who are you and what the fuck was the purpose of that talk?
There was just an incident a long time ago. Probably shouldn't have mentioned it.
Oh, come on. Now you have to tell me.
Right. You have piqued my interest.
There was a night when he'd been at his console for 23 hours and he refused to leave it. Refused. I guess he got caught up in all the excitement and he peed his pants. All over himself, everything wet.
Oh.
After that, people started calling him Mr. Peanut.
Why peanut?
Right.
I have no idea, but that was his nickname from that day on, and it followed him for years. Years. People would leave peanuts on his console, peanut butter, even a doll with a diaper on it.
Jesus. I almost feel bad for him. Almost.
I know. But listen, if I can find a way to get along with Bill, so can you. You need to find a way to work this out with him. He's not going to be the last difficult person you come across in your career.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Especially as a woman at NASA. Especially as a woman of color at NASA.
You're the fucking administrator of NASA.
Acting administrator.
So start acting like it. You're not watching from the sidelines anymore. You're in the game, for Christ's sake.
You're fucking starter. You're the quarterback.
You have to prove to them that you've got things under control. Show them how tough you are. How far you're willing to go. Then you'll have their trust.
We all play different roles with different people.
Huh?
Something Tom once told me.
Mm-hmm. Although, if she's gonna start acting like the administrator, is she gonna wanna stay as the administrator? Oh.
The president has decided to arm Pathfinder.
Wow. Just like that. We're putting missiles on a shuttle.
Well, at this point, he really has no choice.
I mean, he does have a choice.
Ellen, can't you talk to him? Get him to listen to reason? He needs to understand this.
These were my recommendations, Margot.
Why? But why? But I thought she didn't want NASA to be military, so why is she putting weapons on Pathfinder and moving up the lunar site takeover?
As soon as all this gets resolved, which I'm sure it will, I hope to see you again and continue planning this mission together.
Yes, I as well hope this.
I'm gonna guess this is never getting resolved and that mission is never happening.
It might be a good thing to take a step back, actually. Look at things with fresh eyes, see if we're missing anything with these docking module
She's
specs.
trying to warn him discreetly.
Yes, I can understand this.
I'm proud of her.
I would take a look at it while you're away.
I'm proud of her, honestly.
The words I just told you. All
Dying
the
childbirth.
things you feel ain't what they sing. Then don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream.
Is that a picture? Is that her parents? Like her biological parents?
Each different song. Each song.
But why did it say stable and then that was crossed out with died in childbirth? That's sus, right? I feel like that's suspicious.
I decided to donate something to the Outpost jukebox.
Wow.
Really? Well, that was very thoughtful.
I'm still very iffy on this. I just worry about where it's going, and I don't like what I worry about, you know? He definitely has a crush on her, and I do not like this. I do not.
Come on.
No, don't invite him to dance with you, ma'am. Ma'am. This is a child. Literally, he was your child's friend. No, I hate it. I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable. I don't think she realizes, but like... No, something awkward's gonna happen. No! Okay, very disturbed. Very. Literally, that was your child's friend. Like, you knew him as a tiny little boy. That's not okay. See, I thought they were gonna go there, but I didn't think that she would go there.
You think Charles is ready to pilot the LSAM?
Right.
No. No, not yet.
Then you have to.
If I knew he needed to be ready so soon, I would have...
Can you do it? You've flown with us before. You know the mission better than anyone.
She's not military, though.
I can't order you to do it. It's dangerous. We don't know for sure they don't have weapons, and if they do...
I'm in.
Okay, then. Prep the LSAM for launch. We gotta load our gear and get ready to roll out.
Why? I mean, I know why, but like, everything in this episode so far is a bad idea. It just gives me. I mean, whatever you gotta do to like not freak out in that moment, you know?
Approaching final turn, 10 seconds out.
That's stressful music. It's stress-inducing. Shit, oh god, what?
Land in sight's not clear.
That drilling rig wasn't on the sat map.
Should we abort?
Negative, going downrange. Drop point located. Begin descent.
10 meters, down at 8.
Just like the drills, folks. Immediate dismount, clear the vehicle, and form up on me. Hurrah! Let's do
Oh,
this.
there's people.
Weapons free.
Oh, there's people. Okay, touchdown.
Tracy Stevens, you were a badass.
Everyone's leaving. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I feel like this was a very sad and stress-inducing episode. I still don't think that we are in the clear. I still don't think that just because there was not a standoff at that exact moment, now that the USSR cosmonauts are going to go back and be like, yeah, they took the site and they took it with weapons, like that. It's just, I think it's also something that the show does a really good job of is, and I think I've said this before, but I think they do a really good job of showing that the United States and the USSR, at least in this situation, are both kind of provoking things, right? There's definitely, it's heavily implied that the KAL 007 civilian plane was being used to take pictures of that secret base, right? Like, Bradford's denying it, but like, of course the military is going to deny it. I think it's very interesting that that plane happened to be flying over the exact island that the USSR is concerned about, and they happen to get, you know, surveillance pictures from the exact island, you know, like, it's just, it's too much of a coincidence to actually be a coincidence. And I definitely think that they would use a commercial plane and put civilian lives at risk for the plausible deniability of it all. And maybe that's, you know, me being cynical. This is just a show, obviously, you know, so I'll just say in the show, I think that they would be willing to do that. I definitely feel like both the United States and Russia in this show are playing a game of chicken, and they're both just like driving as close to each other as possible before turning, just to see like who they can get to like fuck up first so that it can be blamed on that person, right? Like, I think that it seems that a full-on war breaking out is inevitable. It's just who's gonna step over that line first, right? And the USSR shooting down a civilian plane, like, that's pretty bad. But if the United States was using that civilian plane to spy, although it was a Korean plane, so I'm not really sure how it could have been done, but I'm not saying that it's outside the realm of possibility. I am interested though, like, why did Ellen, sorry, this has changed the subject a little bit, but why did Ellen propose that we arm Pathfinder and that we take back the site? You know, like, why was that her advice to the president? Because those are both, like, she wants to keep the military maybe this is it. Maybe because she wants to keep the military from taking over for NASA, she thinks that if we have plans, if NASA has plans in place that the military approves of, then later the military will be like, well, we can work with NASA. We don't have to like absorb NASA and then like make them do what we want, right? So maybe she's trying to like walk that thin line of acquiescing to the military, but without giving up everything that she wants NASA to be, which is independent and still like scientific. Like Mars, like the whole goal of Mars, right? So maybe that's it. At first I didn't really understand, but I can understand it if that's sort of the approach that she was taking. I do like that Margot warned them, even though Bradford told her not to, and she did it in a way that, again, plausible deniability. I like that she was able to still find a way to put human lives first and to try to protect human lives, because I think that there's a real big danger in the way that Bradford's thinking and the way that people think sometimes when it's like, well, they have the possibility in the future to arm this and use this against us. So even though we have the chance right now to save lives, maybe it's okay if we let them fumble and possibly lose lives, because then if they do the thing that we think they might do, it's going to help us, right? Like it'll save us if it gets destroyed, if it has weapons on it, because they didn't realize this thing. And I just think that you cannot pre-punish people for things that they might do, right? Like I think all of us have the potential to do bad things. I think everyone has that potential within us, but we should still be allowed to make the choice. Just because we have the potential, we shouldn't be treated like we've already made the choice. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that in a military situation it's a bit different, but I also don't think it's right or okay to sacrifice innocent human lives. Kind of end stop, right? Just like Sergei, like I didn't agree with him being held because he had no part in anything. Like he's being held as like a punishment for something that he was in no way involved in. Just like Danielle and the other guy, the United States astronaut that were being held in Star City, like they were being punished for something that they had no part in. And like, yeah, so I don't know. I understand, but it's kind of shitty when people, just like innocent people who aren't involved, end up end up being used as pawns in like a game, right? Like the United States is like, well, you did something, so we're gonna hold this guy, Sergei. And then USSR is like, well, you're holding Sergei, so we're gonna hold these people. And like none of them had anything to do with the situation, but they're just being used by their respective governments as pawns in a game. And I just think that's so terrifying, honestly, because at any time, any of us could just become pawns in a game that the government's playing, you know? I do think that they're kind of pointing to the fact that Ellen and Pam might not work out. Like, it seems like the show is sort of showing us that maybe Ellen is going to end up staying at NASA and she's not going to choose her happily ever after with Pam. Ideally, she could have both, but I just don't know if that's the direction we're going to go with the show. So, kind of worried about that because I was excited at the prospect of Ellen and Pam getting their happy ending. Now, speaking of happy endings, Danny, I believe his name is Danny, and Karen, like, this is what I feared, you guys. And I was like, I'm reading too much into it. They're not going to do that. Like, surely surely they will not do this. They did. They went there. They fully went there. They had, like, okay, him kissing her, her rejecting him is fully what I expected to happen. Her then being like, wait, let me get a little bit of this. No, ma'am. That is your son's child. No. That is your son's childhood friend. Sorry. That would be way worse. But that is like, she watched this small fucking human. Well, he's not a small human anymore, but she watched him grow up. Like, he spent the night at her house. Like, he was a little fucking kid. Like, I just, like, I get her and Ed have probably really struggled since Shane's death. I get that, you know, maybe they haven't been as intimate. They've been married a long time. I get that things can happen and people can grow apart, and like, maybe she was feeling neglected, you know, in their marriage. Like, literally, I would have preferred her to make out with anyone else that was an adult and not her child's friend. Sam Cleveland, fucking Gordo. Like, it does disturb me. Okay? Yeah. I get him having a crush on her. I get his, like, misplaced whatever. Like, I get that from his perspective. Like, fine. I just really am struggling from her perspective because, like, I just, as a grown-ass woman, you know, like, I don't have kids. I don't have kids, and I haven't had kids that I've watched their friends grow up. But I have a nephew who I've watched grow up, and I have, like, my sister's friends have had kids that I've watched grow up, and, like, they are babies to me, you know? Like, even though they're, like, 18 now, like, they're babies. Like, that's an infant, you know? Like, that's just how, like, I think. So I just can't wrap my head around Karen's perspective. Like, I know he's over 18. Like, I know he's an adult. Like, I get that. But you watched him grow up, and to me, that would make him forever a child. You know? Like, I don't know. I was very disturbed by that. As you guys could tell, I don't like that. I really hope that we very quickly abandon that storyline and just, like, send it off into space to die. Like, not a fan of that. No. Speaking of not being a fan, I'm not a fan of the takeover with the guns. Again, I already mentioned this, but there is going to be retaliation. Or at the very least, now the USSR is going to be like, oh, we're bringing weapons to the moon? Done. If they weren't going to arm that fucking missile before, they sure as fuck are now. Like, again, it's escalating a game of chicken that I feel is going to have a very disastrous end, and that concerns me. I am curious about Kelly. Sorry, my brain is not good with names today. I'm really interested in Kelly's storyline. So it says in the paperwork that her mother, it said it was crossed out stable with died in childbirth, which is, like, very suspicious to me. I'm wondering if, and maybe this is way off base, I don't know, but I'm wondering if this is, like, gonna be like they stole her child from her sort of storyline, you know? I don't know. Like, again, maybe I'm just reading way too much into it, but it's just very suspicious to me that stable would be crossed out with died in childbirth. Like, there's a very big difference in those two. Like, if it had been crossed out with died from complications from childbirth, I would be like, okay, yeah, she was stable and then something happened. But how do you go from stable to like you've been dead? You know? I don't know. Just a little bit sus. But I am interested in Kelly. I mean, they're in Texas, I believe. Houston, right? And so her dad, I think it said, was in Austin. Not sure how far away that is, but same state. So I'm curious if she's gonna seek him out and seek out information and just knowledge about who she is and where she comes from. Which again, like I said in the last episode, I think is completely valid. Like if she needs that to, or she wants that even, just to know who she is, then I think that she should have it. I am sad that Glasses died. I had a bad feeling, just the fact that Ellen didn't get on the plane and then they showed the plane. I was just like, it's giving me he's gonna die, and he did. Yeah, I feel kind of bad because Glasses definitely did bother me quite a few times. He pissed me off numerous times throughout this show, but I do think he was a good person at the end of the day. Like, he had some questionable things that he said and did at times, but overall I liked him, and so it is going to be kind of sad to see him, or to not see him going forward. And now that Ellen has to take his place, you know, and is probably going to keep her at NASA, I'm also sad that we might lose her happy ending with Pam. Yeah. I don't think that there's anything else that I really want to talk about in this episode. I think I've wrapped it up, so I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys want to see my reaction to the next episode, though, and you're watching this on YouTube, you can right now over on Patreon. My reaction to episode 8 will already be up and available over there. While you're over there, if you want, you can watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and all the episodes so far of For All Mankind. I do it watch-along style, so you will have to have your own footage because, you know, I can't really give that to you. Apple TV will get upset at me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. And until then, bye guys.